Discipline. Discipline is necessary. It is key in your life and very, very important. It's actually training. I have a few keys for you to self-discipline. And so I'll start with the first key, which is getting over the temptation, or eliminating, removing temptation from your life. For me, my temptation is being easily distracted. When I'm doing something and then something else comes up, I tend to shift my attention very easily. Not to say I'm not focused, but things distract me a little more easily. So what is your temptation? It could be pornography, it could be alcoholism, smoking, whatever bad habits that you think takes you or removes you from self-discipline is something you need to work on. So for me, I try my best to undertake tasks individually, finish this before I go to that. And if something distracts me, I just need to take my time to work on the first things first, and then I'm able to move to the next thing. So for you, if it's alcoholism, try as much as possible to reduce it day by day until you stop. If it's pornography, you do this when you are alone. So if you can actually avoid it totally, why not? If you don't remove temptation, you will never be disciplined. Key number 2 is preparing ahead of time. You need, in as much as possible, in everything you do, to prepare adequately ahead of time. For instance, me, if I'm going to church, I usually prepare the D-Day, and so I'm usually late. So what should I do? What do I have to do? I need to prepare the day before, a day or two, like my material, my clothes. I like to look good, as you know. The Saint Nsroma brand. We have shirts, we have t-shirts as well. Anything apparel you want, just stop by at Saint Nsroma for all your clothing needs. So yes, back to my point. If you need to do something, just prepare yourself ahead of time. It's another way of disciplining yourself as an individual. Make sure that you don't prepare on that particular day, and then you probably will make the time, or you make the correct time. So if you're going to church, if you know it's 8 o'clock, make sure you prepare the night before. Iron your clothes, polish your shoes, prepare your bags, your church material. If it's work, make sure, even for the week, you can actually iron your clothes for the week. I used to do that for a cousin of mine. I would prepare all his things ahead of time, and of course he would also do his part as well. But preparing ahead of time is one way of disciplining yourself. Key number 3 is stop the complaining. I can relate this to key number 2. If you prepare ahead of time, I think you avoid complaining. In the event that you don't prepare adequately, for instance, you're going to church on a Sunday morning, and you are ironing and cleaning your shoes, preparing your bags on the Sunday morning. Obviously you will not leave in good time, and you might not make it in time to execute the task that you're supposed to do at church or wherever, at work or something. The point is, prepare ahead of time to avoid complaining. If you keep complaining, it gives people the impression that you're not a serious person. They can't trust you. If you take these tips, I think it will go a long way to help you. So key number 4 to self-discipline: eat regularly and healthy. I know a couple of people, they won't eat anything. They'll wait till the end of the day before they eat something. Obviously, you will not be strong. Your mind will probably not work effectively, and you will develop ulcers and other medical conditions. In the morning, grab a bite, a snack, something healthy, a bread with a mug of Milo, a mug of tea or coffee. In the afternoon, a snack is okay, something that keeps you going. You need to keep hydrated and refreshed at all times. So for you watching, try as much as possible. Even if you don't like eating, try to eat in small portions. I'm not saying eat and overeat, because if you do that, you'll be dull in the course of the day, and you can't be as productive as you ought to be. So in as much as possible, try to eat regularly and eat healthy. Key number 5, don't worry too much if it doesn't feel right. I've had an argument with someone and you need to go say sorry. especially you know it's not your fault. It's hard, I know, acknowledging these things and probably coming down to the person's level where the person feels egoistic to say sorry. And talking of ego, you can check the link in the description below for the episode on ego. So yes, even if it doesn't feel right, it's the right thing to do to say sorry, even if you are right. So do your best to do the right thing. That's what is important. Doing the right thing is actually the right thing. So in as much as possible, make sure to be disciplined, even if it doesn't feel right and it's the right thing to do. Go on and do it. That's another key to success. No, that's another key to self-discipline. Okay, again, do things in moderation. Do things in moderation. Don't do things excessively. I'm not advising you to drink. I'm actually advising you to stop drinking, to stop smoking. Anything that affects your health negatively, you should do your best to avoid. But as people, some will obviously choose to drink. So if you do it in moderation. Every other thing that you do it in moderation. Even if you exercise excessively, you will tend to have a weaker body at some point in your life. Key number 7, give yourself a break. At some point you need to acknowledge your efforts, appreciate yourself. Not to say do things that affect you adversely, but giving yourself a break, probably go for a ride, go for a trip. When you work on your leave days, you can just take a few days as holidays. Travel to another city, another town, just relax and then come back to your main thing. So reward yourself for your achievement. Acknowledge that you are successful and give yourself a break by treating yourself well. Forgive yourself and forgive others. If you're able to forgive yourself, it's another form of discipline, whereby you keep yourself in check and you make sure that you don't repeat that mistake ever again. Even if you do, you need to keep forgiving yourself and try to work on these habits every day to be a better person. And for the last key, make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Of course, we're all trying to achieve perfection, but make a mistake. It's a learning process. You try as much as possible to be better every day. If you make a mistake, it's a learning process for you. And make sure that you always develop yourself. Learn something new. Give yourself the chance to try new things. Of course, learning a new skill every day will give you a new opportunity every day. So if you also have other keys to self-discipline, you can drop them in the comment section. And do share and don't forget to subscribe. It's because I do this not for me, of course for me as well, because I'm learning, but I do it basically for you. So let me hear from you in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends and your family about this channel.